Hey, hello, everyone. Juanice here. And what I want to do today is share with you a chapter from my book, Seven Insights to Elevation. Now, the chapter that I chose is the same chapter that we went over at the book signing, the book launch party a few weeks ago. So, that chapter is Victimization of Self. And I chose that chapter because it seems to me, based on the feedback that I've received thus far about the book, that people really like that chapter. And like the information and like to talk about that chapter as well. So I'm going to share that chapter with you guys today. All right, that is chapter 3, Victimization of Self. Pity parties are not powerful. Now that we understand how perception works, let's talk about how we set ourselves up to be victims. Yes, many of us do this to ourselves. How many times have you walked into a situation knowing that it would not be good for you, but you proceeded anyway? How many times have you said to yourself, something told me, or I had a feeling? Do you take your own advice? Do you take the advice of those who love you and have your best interest at heart? These are the questions we should consider when looking at the situations that we find ourselves in, which make us feel victimized. You are probably one of the nicest people you know. You go above and beyond for everyone, and people love you. You are genuinely a good person. So, why do you always find yourself in situations where people are taking advantage of your kindness and trying to use you? Are you tired of feeling this way? Well, let's take a look at what is really going on so we can help you get out of the cycle of victimization which you seem to find yourself in. When we think about victims, we often think of someone who has suffered a terrible tragedy or a situation where someone fell prey to a scheme. This is true. However, let's work on our perception a little here. If you close your eyes right now and imagine what a victim looks like, they are probably lifeless or very hopeless looking, destitute, if you will. Now close your eyes again and imagine what a survivor looks like. In my mind's eye, a survivor looks similar to Rambo, disheveled, dirty, and maybe even tired or injured, but alive with smoke billowing around them. Victims are typically connected with death as an end result. I have some great news for you. If the situation, scheme, or tragedy did not kill you, then you are a survivor, not a victim. Victimization of self means that somehow you have stripped yourself of total control, ending up with responsibility for nothing, including your responses. You created defenselessness and released your control and power. This lack of power, which you perceive to be your truth, means that you hold no responsibility for any part of what happened, and any response that you provide is justified because you've been victimized. Victimization of self removes accountability from you, as your logic tells you you're not even responsible for your reaction. The situation or problem was not created by you, and you did the best you could given the circumstances. You were essentially and effectively stripped of all power, even over your thoughts and actions, and you were in agreement with this stripping of power. This happened because there is no room for powerful thought processes or actions when you are working in your own victimization. For example, Do you feel that people are always doing you wrong, despite the goodwill and intentions you have toward them? Do you feel that people always take from you? Do you think that no matter what you do, things never seem to go your way? Does this make you feel sad and depressed at times because you feel like you're not in control of anything? If you're answering yes to these questions, you are operating in the victimization of yourself. You often feel defeated and unappreciated. It actually feels like life is set up against you at times. And if it were not for bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck at all. You are a good person and you do the things that good people do, but you still can't seem to catch a break. It seems that you have a target on your back for dysfunction and stress. Take a moment and reread the previous paragraph. Where is the personal power in those statements? The answer is that there is none. Your power has been given away to others. Victimization of self includes handing over your power to situations and to other people. Let's see how a different perception can turn these situations around for you. Your good intentions toward other people should be governed by you, not someone's response or reaction. Their response or reaction should teach you about who you are dealing with, but it should not govern your intentions. Why do you feel that people are always taking from you? Be specific when thinking about this and look for how you could have changed the outcome. If you couldn't, maybe people do like to take from you. If this is the case, I urge you to take a look at yourself, if this bothers you, and see where you can be more assertive. Are you comfortable with the word no? Do you use it at all? Are you open to trying it? In regards to things never going your way, what exactly is your way? Are you walking into situations with a planned outcome, or do you believe that results are out of your control? How do you know what your way is if you don't plan for it or have the capability to define exactly what it is you are looking for? Typically, a plan involves specific steps for accomplishing an end result. Do you know what those steps are? And did you take them? I have found that people will get depressed over situations, especially when engaging in victimization of self. Before you get upset, please understand that I am not denouncing depression as a real illness, as I understand and know that it is. However, I also know that people will say that they are depressed when they simply did not get their way, or rather, they did not put in the effort to create an expected outcome. This is called pouting, perhaps manipulation, but not depression. Sometimes when people put in effort and things do not go their way, it leaves them feeling powerless. Commonly, people will slide into feeling powerless when frustrated, as unfortunately, it is an easier emotion to get to. See, when we throw a pity party, as we all do at times, we're not being powerful. Pity parties are not powerful. They are quite the opposite, as a matter of fact. They justify victimization and eliminate accountability. When you are trying to get to your next level in your life, there is no room for a pity party or prolonged feelings of powerlessness. These are the epitome of unproductive feelings and will get you nowhere fast, other than toward unproductive behaviors and away from your intentions. Your next level demands respect, accountability, and personal power. So, how do I work in respect, accountability, and personal power? The first step is that you must decide that you are worth it. In doing so, you also need to know that you have to give it to yourself first. It is illogical to expect someone to give you respect when you don't respect yourself. It is irrational to think that someone will believe that you hold power when you don't believe it yourself. You hold yourself accountable first, and you will always do your personal best. In doing so, your personal best will only increase. I promise you it will. Understand, walking out of victimization of self takes courage. Some of those closest to you may not understand why you are behaving differently. They may even call you crazy for feeling that you deserve this. That's okay too. Remember perception? They are working from their own, not yours. We will talk more about naysayers later. However, it is important to remember not to give them your power. Keep it for yourself as you will need it. When you make the decision to no longer be a victim, you are innately giving yourself power. You will instinctively start to look for your power over and in situations. Keep in mind, this is not done in an unproductive or selfish manner. You are not seeking power to control other people. Instead, you are looking to gain control over yourself, your responses, and your life. Keep the focus on your part and know that when you are coming out of self-victimization, it is a very self-reflective activity. You have to look at yourself and work to find your part. Find your lesson in the situation and then move on. This is so important, as owning your part will give you back responsibility and accountability. Taking back responsibility and accountability mean that you're taking your personal power back from whoever or whatever you gave it to. When you take your power back, you're no longer a victim. You are on your way. Thank you guys so much for listening to me read that chapter, and I am so excited to hear what you guys think of it. So drop me a comment, slide a DM, however you're watching this, shoot me a message and let me know what you think. Thank you so much, and continue to be about the key to life.